everyone, it's Kim again. Welcome back to my channel. I'm going to do something a little different today. I started off thinking I was going to do a cook with me video, just a simple Sunday basic meal prep. And what I think I'm going to do is change that up a little bit and just take you along with me throughout the day, and we'll see where that goes. What I thought I would start off with is I'm going to whip up some pancakes for breakfast, and I'm going to use the Mudhustler recipe. And I went ahead and started prepping some of those ingredients to make it a little quicker. The ingredients for the Mudhustler pancakes are 1/4 cup of the Kodiak cakes, just the plain buttermilk one. I have the protein packed ones. Pick these up at Costco. And we're going to use 1/4 cup of that, and that is 2 Smart Points. We're also going to have 2/3 cup of water, 1 egg, and I'm going to go ahead and crack that. And I don't know about you, but I always crack my eggs in a bowl before I put it in my actual recipe, because there's always a possibility I might drop a shell. So we're going to grab a spoon, which I did not do. And we're going to go ahead and start mixing this together. So again, 1/4 cup of Kodiak cake mix, 1 egg. It's going to call for 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. Go ahead and pop that in there. And if you notice, as I'm prepping, I'm always tossing things. I always fill up a bowl or just something with like a dish pan full of soapy water so that I can just soak my my dishes as I'm going through, so it makes it for an easier cleanup when I'm done. I know I'm jumping all over today, aren't I? So, recap: 1/4 cup of Kodiak cake mix, 1 egg, 1/2 teaspoon of the baking powder, 2/3 cup of water, and a package of Quest protein. If you buy it in the larger quantities, you could just use 1 scoop, which is equal to one of these packages. Today I have left strawberries and cream, cinnamon crunch, and salted caramel. I think I'm going to do the salted caramel today. So again, 1 whole packet of that. Just going to pop that in there. I think I'm going to grab a whisk instead. In the long run, that might make my life easier. I should have grabbed a bigger bowl. Yeah, I think I'm gonna throw that in a bigger bowl. Early Sunday morning prep. Okay, got all that out of there. We'll dump the water in and get this rolling. Now, in the Mudhustler original recipe, he does call for 3 tablespoons of egg whites, but since our eggs are now 0 points, I just go ahead and throw the whole egg in there. Go ahead and make sure my pan is heating up. Give this one last quick little stir. Mine does seem a little watery. I may have had just a little bit too much water in there, but if you give that a minute, it will thicken right up. So as soon as my griddle gets heated up here, I will come right back to you. Okay, our mixture is already thickened up a little bit here. That took about 3 minutes. So I'm gonna set that aside and go ahead and spray our griddle. And I always like to use a measuring cup when I do my pancakes, just so they're even. I don't think I mentioned this before. The Kodiak cakes, 1/4 cup was 2 smart points, and a package of the Quest protein was 1 smart point. So this entire batch of pancakes will be 3 smart points. Now, typically I will just take these pancakes and I will make it into 2 batches, so I'll have them today and tomorrow. And that will give me 2 breakfasts ready to go. 1 today, 1 prep for tomorrow. Now, my husband, being the sweet man that he is, said that he saw something online the other day, which I'm gonna go ahead and give a try. Sorry, I know this bowl's probably right in the way. Okay, so that gives us 6 pancakes. And again, I did say 3 smart points for the entire batch, right? Just gonna give this a quick little rinse here so I don't have to contend with this later. There we go. All right, so back to my husband's story. So he says, as I walk away and grab a spatula, he says that he saw online that you could take mason jar lids. Hopefully I can get that in here. Just a regular mason jar. The mason jar lids, and spray those and use those for an egg ring. I know many of you have seen me make the eggs in my egg cookers in the microwave. So I thought today, while we were making our pancakes and already had our griddle out, we would go ahead and make these. Now, I've already pre-washed these rings. I have 5 rings. These are the wide mouth jar rings. And as soon as I get a couple of these pancakes done, I'm gonna flip over and start to make the eggs. So while we're waiting for those to get done, it's my coffee pot letting me know it's getting ready to shut off. I'm gonna go ahead and put some little bowls out here and start cracking the eggs. Hopefully you can, I'll zoom you back out a little bit here. Hopefully that's good. Check my pancakes really quick. Nice and golden brown. There's always that moment of you flipped them too late, and that's usually when I flip my pancakes. So we're gonna go ahead and let those cook for another minute on that side and get our eggs cracked. And I always find it easier to crack them in several bowls. That way it doesn't slow me down. And I even do this when I'm making my my eggs in my, see, there's a shell. When I'm making my eggs in the microwave egg cookers, because it doesn't slow down the process. I don't have to stop. I don't have to rewash my hands 5 times. It's just grab a bowl and be ready. Oh, those are perfect. Kind of flip a couple over so you can see them before I pull them off the griddle. And for me, 3 pancakes and an egg is plenty enough for breakfast. I do use the sugar-free syrup. I think the one that I'm using right now is just the plain Walmart brand, and that is super low in points. I'll scan that. I think it's 1 point for 1/4 cup or 1/2 cup, but I'll scan that, and I normally don't even use a 1/2 cup. Or not even a 1/4 cup, sorry. So I'll scan that and I'll insert the points there. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw some pepper in these eggs. And again, this is going to be an experiment, because I haven't done this before, and I always find that it's easier just to do that, film it, and if it goes well, great. If it doesn't go well, then we know not to do it next time, right? I guess we just have to spray our pan again. Hope they don't stick, and throw the egg in there. Seems easy enough. I'm gonna grab a knife here and break a couple of these yolks. Maybe I'll break them all because if I'm gonna put them on egg sandwiches, it's easier just to have the eggs with the broken yolks on there. So far so good. We'll let those cook for a second, and I guess we'll just flip the entire ring and everything, and maybe they just pop out and go onto the grill. Maybe I should have watched a video before I did this. This ought to be super interesting. I'll grab some tongs here so that I can pull the rings off when they're done. What do you think? Does anybody else do anything interesting with their eggs, or maybe you use this method? Do you use this method? If you do, comment below. If you don't and you decide to give it a try, again, leave me your thoughts and comments. Hopefully it turns out and this actually makes it into the video. So I think we did this one first. I don't know. It is kind of quicker than doing it in the microwave. Not so bad. Try this one. Apparently, if my flipping skills were a little better, they would probably come out a little neater. Guess we'll flip this one since we already have it ready. I don't know how. I guess it's going to be a skill I'm going to have to practice. Not so bad. I think I'll wash up a couple of these rings, make my last 3 eggs, and then I'll have my husband's egg sandwiches ready to go, as well as a couple for myself. Or maybe just a couple to eat today. I think that might be even better. All right, I will call this a success. I'll come back at you a little later today when I get ready to either make lunch or if I'm gonna do some prepping. Haven't really decided. I know we're a little behind this week. Coming back from Vegas has really thrown me for a loop, and I don't have my routine down just yet. You'd think it wouldn't take that long, but actually that time change made it a little tougher than I thought it would. All right, those look good. Perfect. All right. I'll insert a couple of pictures after this so you can see the final product, and we'll get back to you later. Thanks. Bye. All right, next up, we're gonna get started on our egg roll in a bowl. Gonna move a couple things out of the way and get our ground turkey breast into the pan. What I'm using today is the 98.2 lean ground turkey breast. So go ahead and pop that in the pan and get that started. I'm not going to go through full details. I'll show you a couple of clips through the process just to kind of show you what I did. I do have a video on my channel for this recipe in its entirety. So I'm going to go ahead and get this stuff browned here. I'll check in with you in a few. Thanks. Before I sign off on this part, I just wanted to tell you I poured some water in the pan because if you've ever worked with lean ground turkey breast, it has almost no moisture in it. So I like to try to hurry up and get something in there, and it also makes it cook faster. So a little bit of water in the pan. That will be your tip on browning up some ground turkey. I'm going to add some salt and pepper and then let it do its thing. Now this time for real. I'll be back with you as soon as I get that browned up. Okay, I've got the ground turkey browned. And I went ahead and sliced up my mushrooms, and I'm just gonna go ahead and let those incorporate into the meat. Just for a few minutes. And then I will start to add my coleslaw along with the ground ginger, the soy sauce, and the garlic. I also added in 1 teaspoon of sesame oil, just because it just gives it that flavor that just makes it so good. All right, that looks good. I'm going to go ahead and grab my scissors again. We'll dump in the first bag. Now the original recipe that I used called for 1 bag of coleslaw mix, but I found that you can go ahead and add 2 and it works out great. Gives you the extra veggies. Go ahead, sorry, I know I'm going to bump the camera. Grab another spoon here to work with. Try to get that to wilt down just a second, then I'll get the next bag in. When you first get doing this, it looks like it's not going to all fit, but eventually it does. And the last thing that I have to do with this is to get my green onions and chop those. There we go. And then I'll probably add those in at the end because I really like it when those are a little crunchier. So I may wait and put those in at the very last. See if I can do this without spilling it all over my stove. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and just pour. Again, I just put everything in a bowl. I don't know if you can see that. It's got the ginger and the soy sauce and the garlic. Just gonna pour that right over the top. Oh, my house smells delicious right now. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and give this a quick little stir, and then I'm gonna throw the top on and just let this wilt down. Telling you, really wish I had smell-o-vision. Not very good with my left hand. Totally awkward. All right, I'm gonna let that wilt down, and then I will come back at you and show you a picture of the final product. All right, we've got that all wilted down. The last thing I have to do is just add these yummy green onions, otherwise known as scallions. And again, took you through this video really quick because I do have that other video on my channel, just in case you missed that part earlier. And that's it. I'm gonna let that go ahead and cool down, and then I will measure that out and put it into serving bowls. And since I used the sesame oil today, that will be 1 smart point per bowl, because I did use the 98% fat-free turkey. So everything in there except for that sesame oil was 0 smart points. Alright, next up is our chicken salad. I went ahead and picked up this Tyson Grilled and Ready. It's an oven roasted diced chicken breast. It's got a really good taste and it's 0 smart points. There's nothing in it. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this. I measured out approximately 2 cups of, maybe 2.5 cups of the chicken. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw that in our bowl. Let that de-thaw a little bit. I'm sure it'll be fine. It'll come the rest of the way down. Next up, I'm going to measure out our Miracle Whip. I just have the light Miracle Whip here, and I know that you can make this using just the Greek yogurt, but I still have not transitioned totally into using the Greek yogurt yet. I'm trying. We'll see how it goes. So we're going to use 1.5 tablespoons of the Miracle Whip. And you know what? I bought this new, the Faye Greek yogurt today, but I think I still have some yogurt left in my fridge from, just bear with me, I do. I'm gonna swap that out and use the yogurt that I had just made. See if you can get a look at that. I should turn my lights up. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can give you a little better view. How's that? I think that's much better. Okay, now I can show you my yogurt. Still looks the same, doesn't it? At least I have a little more light on this side. So I'm gonna go ahead and use a couple of tablespoons of this, and I did drain my yogurt when I made it, so it's like super thick and creamy. Throw a couple of heaps in there. And I really like making my own yogurt because the Greek yogurt that I buy in the stores, it seems like it has a little more of that tang to it. I think I've mentioned this before, and this one doesn't have that. So just get that in there. Maybe should have chopped up my chicken a little bit, but I'm sure it'll be fine. Just be some super thick, yummy chicken this week. Next up, I'm gonna go ahead and have some grapes. And I like to do this. I was quartering them, but it seems like just having them is just fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these in there. So far we have 2.5 to 3 cups of the, maybe 2.5, between 2 and 3 cups of the chicken. I have 1.5 tablespoons of the Miracle Whip, approximately 3 tablespoons of the Greek yogurt. I measured out a cup of the grapes. I'm gonna eyeball that and see how that goes. Gonna stop there. It's about a little over half the bag. Next up, I'm gonna go ahead and cut up these apples, and this is not the knife for apples. Switch that out. I don't know about you, but some of my knives are really good for certain things and not good for others. So I thought about speeding through this, but I thought I'd just kind of keep it going with me because of the fact that then you can see it really doesn't take long to throw this together, and this is a great snack. I will typically have this between lunch and when it's time to go home from work. That way it kind of tides me over and I'm not walking into the door starving, you know, wanting to dig right into dinner. So it really kind of helps keep my hunger at bay. Now, I'm also going to be adding in 2 tablespoons of walnuts to this recipe. I went ahead and pre-chopped those before I started filming. And I think each serving of this is only 1 point. I'll double check that. If it changes or if it's anything different, I'll put it in the comments just so you know. But I'm pretty sure this one is only 1 point. I used to make it adding other ingredients, but it seems like just having these extra apples, again, I am putting 2 apples in here because they were kind of small. The 2 apples along with the grapes and the chicken and the sauce seems to be just a good combination. I did try to add seasonings into this. Someone had told me to put some seasoning in it, to add garlic powder or just different types of seasoning. It was not my favorite. I'm kind of fine just adding in the salt and pepper with this recipe, which I'm doing now. Just a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. Go ahead and see how this mixes up. I'm probably going to have to add more yogurt. Yes, for sure, going to have to add more yogurt. I think what I'm going to do is probably going to use the rest of this. I don't know if I need to thin it down maybe. I might have been better off to stick with that Fayet. No, that's going to be good. Might help if I grab a spatula. It might mix a little bit better. All right, that looks pretty good. I think next time I will take the time to chop the chicken a little lighter. I think the last time I made this, I made it with the canned chicken, which turns out great. I'm not planning on putting this onto any type of a sandwich or a wrap. I'm just gonna eat it out of the bowl. Not out of this bowl, I mean just out of the single serving bowls. I'm gonna go ahead and put the nuts in there. Give you a quick little look. And that will be our chicken salad. Hope you give this a try. It is really, really good. I only recently started making this. I've had it a few times at parties and at restaurants, but I've never been one to make it myself. So give it a try. Super simple. Alright, the next thing I'm working on are my husband's sandwiches, and I figured that everybody knows how to make a sandwich, so I didn't want to bore you with that, but I put together 3 sandwiches to get him through Wednesday, and then Wednesday I will make 2 more sandwiches so that they're fresh and ready to go, and he also takes a side of chips. So his breakfast sandwiches are ready for breakfast, and now I have his lunches ready, and then I plan to chop up some vegetables. I'll probably do that off camera and have that as a little snack for him throughout the day. All right, last up on our list of things to do will be to cut up our watermelon. So I have a couple of different cutting boards here. I'm gonna use my flimsier one to be able to transfer the stuff over, and then I'll just use this big one here to chop everything down to be a holder, a placeholder. I've showed this on my video I think once before, figure out which way I'm gonna throw these. I have a garbage can behind me today. I like to go ahead and cube my watermelon all at once so that it's ready to go throughout the week. I find that I eat it quicker when I go ahead and do this. If you haven't seen this done, I have seen this done on a video a couple of years ago, and it's really cool because it moves so quick. So if you say, oh, I don't have time to do that, give it a try, because I'm telling you, you have time. Slice down the sides. Hopefully you can see a view of what I'm doing. Try to get all the way down, but we will flip it over and just check the bottom. So you're just going to peel off the rind first. Found it quicker if I just throw it in the sink, and I'll dispose of it later. You can totally do this 3 to 5 minutes. I know I've been timed, I can do it a lot quicker, but it's probably not the safest way to do it, is to be speed cutting. All right, just gonna give it a final check here, make sure we got all the rind off. Hopefully you can see that looks pretty good. It's got a little spot here on the top. I'm just gonna cut that out. There we go. So we're just going to cut off a layer. Flip that over, it might be a little easier that way. Cut off a couple layers there. Sorry about that, that's my oven going. And we're just going to go ahead and cube this. Doesn't have to be any certain shape or size. Just basically doing this for me because honestly, I'm really the only one that eats watermelon here. My husband will have a plate here and there, but I am totally in love with watermelon. It is my favorite fruit by far. And I'm so happy that it's in season. I will be giving up my grapes as a snack here soon because of the fact that I will just rely solely on my watermelon and cantaloupe, because you might as well enjoy those while they're in season, right? Apple slippery on this cutting board today. Thought I would just go ahead and get my discs ready so that we can get this thing just to speed through and get this done. I have been kind of going on and off all day. I did go grocery shopping earlier and picked up a few things. Have a few ideas for dinners. I know we're gonna have chili dogs this week. We're going to have chicken tacos. If I can con my husband into it, I would really like to do fish this week. I'm a huge fan. He can take it or leave it. And then we'll probably have chicken on the grill. But yeah, other than that, I have a ton of stuff prepped in the freezer. I'm gonna try to start working my way through that so that I can go to the store and get a slab of steaks and start getting all that grilling food together, because we grill a lot in the summer. So I need to start making room for those type of things. If you notice, I have a rag underneath my cutting board. It's a wet rag so that my cutting board doesn't slip. And voila. That is your watermelon cubed and ready to go. So again, much easier just to grab a piece and enjoy it. I hope you enjoyed today's meal prep video. Again, I'm gonna go ahead and do some of the vegetables off camera and have those just ready for snacking on. I did buy some salad mix, and I may mix up a salad or two for the week as well. I think I'm fully prepped. I think I'm ready to get off of my after Vegas eating. It was a little tough to get back on track right after that because I wanted to snack all the time on things that are not my normal type snacking foods. So again, hope you enjoyed today's video. I'll see you at the next one. Thanks. Bye.